That is the lamp of death. It's come to chemical warfare and radiation. But more on the killer bulb later. The brewery is a bomb site. Not what I envisaged for it, but then I didn't envisage being off work 4 months. So we've had to go into full hillbilly selling mode. So we've been reconditioning and cleaning up various beer pumps that I've collected over the last few years. Most of them came from an old social club that closed down, and I pretty much got everything for a song. Talking of which, I'll pick this up if you see my post on the brew tubers. Don't know what it's like, so that's now what I'm going to do. I just took the pipe that was on it off and see if it pumps still. It's an anagram. I think it's a CO. I've got a CQ, which is a water cooled jacket. Does it say? But yeah, I'm just going to turn the kettle on and see if I can force a bit of pipe on. Clamp it on the bench and see if we can see what the condition's like. Well, I didn't expect that to go on, but a little bit of hot water has made it pliable enough, so we'll give it a try. Let's hope you're in shot, or I'm in shot, or this is in shot, one or the other. Right, so hopefully the pipe won't come out. Feel a bit of resistance, and the pipe's about to... It's not sucking back, which is a good sign. I think I'll probably still strip it and clean it anyway, because I don't know the history of the pump. All I know is must be half pint Paul. The guy inherited it in his house, and well, it was in the garage actually. Left by the previous owner. Look at that. Get a job at a bar, alcohol free, or Coors Light, one or the other. And so I bought it off him. Couldn't resist a bargain. I remember where the... Look at me, scruffy bastard. You can tell I ain't at work, no. Yeah, so another freaking project. If I get round to it anyway. I've got a few more pressing items to do yet, but yeah, it's sort of come to crunch time now. The old money's running out, so it's time to improvise. So we've started pulling a finger out of bits and pieces I've had kicking about, mainly for this sort of scenario, really. If when your back's against the wall, sort of thing, and so we've had to start sticking a few bits on the forums and on eBay to get shot of it to make some income to pay for food. And a new motor. I bought another motor, so that's wiped out what little savings I had, because it was an opportunity to buy something that I wouldn't, well, did need. I've been looking for occasionally, but usually because it's a specialist vehicle with a wheelchair lift in it, they don't turn up very often, or they're ludicrously expensive and done taxi mileage. I bought a Toyota Hiace minibus with a wheelchair lift in it for the missus, so that came up at a pretty good price, and negotiated an even better price. It does need a little bit of work on the suspension, but nothing I can't tackle myself, so and it's drivable, usable, MOT'd, so but yeah, things are a bit tight at the moment, and I'm no further forward with knowing what is wrong with me. all I get is letters saying we can't get an appointment yet. But I've got to see my physio end of the month, so I'm going to have to see about what she thinks of the work I do. And whether I sort of make a start, I think they call it a phased return to work, so basically like part-time really. Just to get ease back into it, I suppose, and see what happens. Not much else happening I can update you with other than the lamp thing. We've gone the big CFL lamp, that's a 20 watt UVC lamp, which is like the hospitals and laboratories use for annihilating anything bug wise, you know, bacteria, mould, 8-legged spiders, which is what I've bought it for, because this I cleaned this religiously as I built it and sealed the building, or this little room up within the shed. Last year I sprayed cans of bug killer in here to knock them out, just because there were that many of them once they populate a place, and then they have babies, and before you know it, it's carnival time, and the little bastards are still there, and they keep appearing, and they're not just little diddly ones, because I know there was some up on the ceiling, because you can't see them unless the things move, but every time you come in here it's like cobwebs everywhere, and they're up every frigging corner. It's them cellar spiders that seem to have populated everywhere in the last 10 years. They're not a problem, they're just an annoyance, and they're annoying me. So I want them out, I'm evicting them by any means necessary, and so we've gone for a UVC, because basically I'll give them a bad day. You don't need to be in the room when that's on, because it will give you arc eye, if you're familiar with that, if you've welded at all. It's the stuff that burns the skin off your retina and can cause eye damage, temporary or permanent, if you're and skin burns. Also produces ozone, this particular lamp. Some of them don't, they have a filter screen on them. So you don't want to be breathing that in either. So you have to basically dose the room in UV light for 30 minutes and then just switch it off. And what I do is just do it in the evenings. I don't do it every night obviously, but I haven't seen any benefit from it yet, because that is literally the only second time I've done it. So could be hocus pocus, but it wasn't very dear, and it's easier than using chemical sprays, and cheaper in the long run, because they're not cheap to buy, bug spray cans. So we'll try that. Obviously if it has an additional effect of sterilising the work surfaces and anything the light hits, it sterilises, so as long as it's not behind glass, because the UVC doesn't pass through glass, all plastic. So we'll see how we get on with that. There might be a cheap way of sterilising your brewery. Obviously you still need to use a bit of elbow grease to remove stuff, but it's mainly designed for the stuff you can't see, but probably overkill for a brewery, but I've really purchased it just to give the critters a bad day, rather than worry about various things that might be growing in corners of the brewery. I've never had a problem. I've not known anyone have a problem, other than your odd infected batch, which, you know, happens. So yeah, might try it. Just stick the light in a fermenting bin before you use it, and nucleate anything bacteria wise, because that's what it's designed for. So it might give you a little bit better than you know, Star Sand, and then zap it with UVC. Could be the latest trend. Be doing reviews on UVC bulbs instead of Inkbirds. But should any of you want a, this is Hillbilly Shoppo Vision, a nice professional Vogue stock pot. Got my old turkey, US turkey pot inside, which I'm not selling. First one I started with, sentimental value. Plus it's still handy if I have to go back on the gas or something. The electric system is not rigged up yet, but yeah, it's aluminum, but it's quite thicker and heavier than the Powell Brewing stainless one I've got down here, which is one of the reasons I don't really need it, because I've got a 70 litre stainless pot. Just happened back in the day when I was still going to the auctions that stuff like this turned up, and well, you know me. So if you know anyone wants a big fuck off pot, I got one, surprisingly. But obviously I've got this hand pull now, so if I get me beer in the bags, I can just put the bag in a fridge and have a pipe come out and draw it off old school style. No need for CO2 either, because that's still a bitch to get around this way. And I think I've lost my gas because it did have a little bang in the, it's got a metal, like a John Guest fitting, but it's a metal one, and it has got a little bash around it. I had it like it when I got this regulator, and the bastard union is leaking, so I think I might be out of frigging gas, and I'd only used it for one of those mini kegs I've got. Oh, I don't know, I'm just waffling there really, but it is what it is, I'm afraid. But I'll have to keep you updated if we do when I get a chance to look for the bits for the anagram pump. I'll probably just do that as a little series. I know they're sought after around other parts of the world, beer engines and such like, so we'll see if we can put it on the chalkboard with the ever grubbing man card that never seems to end. Right, I'm just piddly-waffling, and I need to try and make sense of all this mess in here and start again. I'm actually running out of bloody packaging material. I suppose that's a good thing, but it's not a good thing if I want to sell anything else. Alright, waffle on, waffle off.